EdEddNEddy is an all-time classic cartoon that aired on Cartoon Network for nearly 10 years, and it no doubt earned all that screen time. With 6 seasons, 4 specials, and a full-blown movie, it quickly cemented itself into the hearts of viewers around the world. And today, we're going to be covering it from beginning to end. Before we begin, let's get the basics out of the way. The show takes place in the town of Peach Creek and focuses on the group of kids who live in the Cul-de-Sac. Front and center are the Eds. Ed, with 1 D, Edward, who goes by Double D, as he spells it with 2 Ds, and of course, Eddy. Ed is a bit of a dimwit, but a super nice guy at heart. Double D is a kid genius, who's a bit of a stickler for rules and morals. And Eddy is the ego-filled, cash-obsessed, conniving leader of the 3. Together, they frequently try to come up with ways to con the other kids of the cul-de-sac out of their hard-earned quarters through scams, all so they can get their hands on some delicious jawbreakers. As for other faces you'll find, there's Sarah, Ed's cranky sister, Jimmy, Sarah's best friend and typically soft-hearted guy, Jonny, the neighborhood's imaginative wild card, Plank, a piece of wood with a face and Johnny's best friend, Rolf, the foreigner who essentially runs a farm at his house, Nazz, the eye of all the boys' affection, and Kevin, the town jock/bully. There's also 3 others who don't live in the cul-de-sac, but you'll be introduced to them in due time. For now, let's start with episode 1, the EdTouchables. The first few minutes of the first episode introduces us to the Eds, with Eddy being a mischievous prankster, even to his own friends, Double D being a neat freak, and Ed being, well, Ed. Double D realizes his magnifying glass has been stolen. Ed's sister Sarah realizes her doll is missing. Eddy comes to the conclusion that there's a serial toucher on the loose.
Hey! I know just what to do!
And warns the other neighborhood kids of his presence. The Eds, with money as an incentive of course, decide to track down the serial toucher and start planning their trap. Jonny comes up to Ed, who's wearing a do not touch sign, and touches Ed's hair with Plank, setting off an alarm and starting a chase. The Eds interrogate Jonny and use some downright evil tactics, like threatening to warp Plank in order to coax the truth out of him. However, it turns out that Sarah and Double D actually just misplaced their stuff, and Jonny has just been tormented for nothing. The Eds get their comeuppance by losing the jawbreakers they bought with the kids' money, and the first episode ends. The next episode starts off with the Eds on a nature expedition, led by Double D naturally.
Let us proceed to the forest.
Oh, nature boy.
It's actually a fairly scary affair, as there's a bunch of spooky whispers and creepy eyes following them and saying their names.
EdEddNEddy, sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Ed! Get off that thing!
Eventually, the Eds, trapped in mud, are saved by a group of 3 girls and taken back to a trailer park, where they wake up in some weird robes. The girls who saved them are none other than the Kanker Sisters, May, Marie, and Lee, who've just moved in. While the Kankers are off making dinner for the Eds, Eddy finds drawings of each of the sisters with an Ed, but Eddy thinks they're just weird jokes.
What the? Ah! That's not funny!
The boys pig out on the couch and find some concerning ingredients in their sloppy joes. Anyone ever try to eat a gear? Don't. Making the evening just seem even more off-putting. But hey, at least they get to watch the all-time classic Fishbowl. Eventually, the Eds peeve the Kankers with their lounging, and the Kankers force them to do a ton of chores. Eventually, Eddy loses his patience and briefly yells at the sisters, causing them to cry and run off. The Eds feel bad and try to reconcile, but are told to leave and never come back, which they gladly start to do.
Well, you heard her. Let's go.
This has been quite educational.
Until the Kankers show up at the door with creepy dolls resembling the boys. The whole situation is just so insane that the Eds hightail it out of there. And you know, I can't blame them. The episode ends with the Kankers admitting to each other that they do still indeed love the Eds.
I think I'm in our UV love.
Which certainly can't mean any good for the Eds. In the next episode, it's a super hot day, and the Eds are desperate for some shade.
Shade!
Sun.
Kevin makes fun of the Eds when he finds them exhausted in a sandbox, but lets them know about Nazz's sprinkler party, which they aren't invited to. We see Eddy's room for the first time, as he goes through his super secure closet to grab the greatest swimsuit ever, which belonged to Eddy's brother before him, of course. Get ready to hear a lot about Eddy's brother throughout the video, by the way. Ha! The swimsuits aren't the best fitting things in the world.
Perhaps they're a tad too confining.
No way, Jose! We're cooking!
But Eddy insists they're gonna be the talk of the party. Well, he's not exactly wrong. The Eds make their entrance to the party and aren't quite the hit they think they'll be. Nazz calms the situation down, and we see just how head over heels the guys are for her. Get used to that, too. Rolf also gets his first real moment in this episode alongside Jimmy, as he explains that the pig head he brought to the party is a delicacy from his home country. Well, that's Rolf for ya. The guys try and mingle with the rest of the kids for social cred, and proceed to walk over in the most ridiculous way possible. Look at this. When all else fails, the Eds try doing a stunt, but it ends up causing all of their trunks to rip right off. They make it to the pool before anyone notices, but Nazz shows up and asks to join them. Luckily, Eddy was able to make an excuse, but they were still stuck in the pool.
Ed's got 3 nipples like that bad guy in James Bond.
You're funny.
By nighttime, it had gotten cold, but the kids were finally asleep, so they were able to take off, but not before getting attacked by bees. The Eds never catch a break. In the following episode, while the Eds are setting up their next scam selling energy drinks, Double D and Eddy notice Ed's hygiene isn't really up to snuff, to say the least. Ed ruins the scam, and it's decided that Ed needs to be domesticated. After a little makeover, Ed is made cool and set out to hang with the other kids, and he actually wins them over. Eddy capitalizes on Ed's coolness with a show, charging money, of course. But it quickly goes awry when the Kankers decide to attend, instantly draining the confidence Ed once had. The show is ruined, and the Kankers even steal the money the Eds made, proving themselves to be the worst things since actual canker sores. In a later episode, Eddy is tired of being short, and he hasn't grown an inch since he was 11 years old. Double D wants to help his friend, and so constructs some remote-controlled stilts for Eddy, but emphasizes the remote is very sensitive after Eddy crashes through the ceiling.
Nice pass, Mr. Smarty Boots, nice.
Mega Eddy goes about terrorizing the kids in the cul-de-sac with his height, making it clear his ego is just as tall as himself. Everything seems to be working out nice for Eddy until, guess who? The Kanker Sisters show up and ruin his boots, grabbing the remote and pressing the button until the device is busted. You know, Eddy kinda deserved it that time though. The next episode is an all-time great in my humble opinion. The Eds find a poster for an R-rated movie.
Visitors in the void. No escape. Huh?
And considering they're still just kids, they come up with what the plot could be themselves. Ed starts rambling off a classic sci-fi B-movie plot until they end up in a junkyard that kinda looks like a distant robot planet. Ed says the first thing space outlaws do in situations like this is to find shelter, and Eddy finds just the spot, an abandoned van with a fiery paint job, complete with shag carpeting, a waterbed, and a horn that plays La Cucaracha.
Boys, welcome to Central Command.
For the rest of the series, this would be the Eds' secret hideout. The Eds later get even more into their fictional world, but find the Kankers harassing Kevin of all people. Man, what do you call the bully of the school bully? Ed courageously goes in to save him, and due to him being dressed like a lunatic, actually scares off the Kankers. Double D builds a prototype for a rocket, but Eddy doesn't have patience, and has himself fired off only to inevitably come crashing down.
Hey, Double D, the rocket needs work.
Robots finally attack the Eds, and the boys start an all-out assault. It turns out their imaginations had gotten the better of them though, as it was just Jimmy and Sarah coming to get Ed for dinner. Double D and Eddy have to drag Ed home though, as he still thinks he's a space outlaw. That's Ed for ya. In the very next episode, another staple location of the Eds is established, this time being their treehouse. They find the perfect spot, gather wood, and get to building. They finish and voila, Club Ed is born. The Eds use their clubhouse as an actual club and charge members to get in, suckering them with club events that'll never happen, like yacht racing. The Eds return to their clubhouse only to realize that the Kankers have taken over. Will they